It's time.
This is the CSL This Week. Hey folks, I'm Alex Bastiabansky bringing you all the action from the Canadian Soccer League. And on the show this week, we've got all the latest game highlights, of course, plus a closer look at Brampton City United and a piece on North York Astros superstar Jose Souza. But first, let's get to the highlights. And after a tremendous 2013 season that saw them reach the championship final, Kingston FC has had a relatively subdued start to 2014, heading into their game with Toronto, Croatia last Saturday with just one win in their first 4 games. Hershey Field was the setting for a battle between two of the CSL's best, and those in attendance got their money's worth in one of the most entertaining games of the season so far. CSL game highlights now brought to you by Leica Sports, official sponsor of the Canadian Soccer League. Last year's regular season champion Kingston FC, surprisingly just one win in their first 4 games, looking to remedy that though against traditional CSL power Toronto, Croatia early on. It looked like Kingston was going to waltz through this contest. 22nd minute, Toronto's Sven Arapovic, good intentions, but they go awry. Own goal past his keeper and winds up Kingston, and they smelled blood just 4 minutes later. Confusion again on the Croatia defense. Stefan Assange takes advantage. Toronto not looking sharp at all, and Kingston's up 2-0 after 26 minutes. So Croatia tries to shake things up a bit. In just the 31st minute, they sub out Peter Mignon and Daniel Niksic, leading to a bit of drama on the sideline actually. But you know what? The shakeup actually works. Just 5 minutes later, Tiomir Maletic with the corner, Joseph Karen with the nice header, and the lead is cut in half, 2-1 for Kingston FC. So on to the second half of play we go, and the Croats just keep on coming. Kingston's Joe Zupo appears to let up just for a second here, and Dario Brezak pounces, slides it past Yaroslav Tazar, and we got a brand new game here, knotted up at 2 after 66 minutes of play. Shortly after, though, the Croats commit the cardinal sin of leaving Catalan Lishu unmarked, and he does this. Just check out the stunned look on the keeper's face. That just about says it all. Catalan with one of the best of the season so far. 3-1 Kingston. 83rd minute, he appears to put this baby to bed for good. Again left unmarked out front, and makes no mistake, 4-2 Kingston. Good night, Croatia, right? Hold on for a second. 88th minute now, Hayden Fitzwilliams takes the feed out front, smacks it past the defender, and there's life yet, and these Croats down by just 1. Then, in the dying seconds, Roberto Gale out front. It doesn't get much better than that, and Roberto knows it. Painful miss for the Croats. Kingston holds on for the win and 3 points, but what a game at Hershey Field. Croatia never say die, and they nearly pull off the huge comeback against Kingston FC. Okay, on to SC Waterloo hosting North York from Warrior Stadium. Incredibly, defending playoff champs Waterloo without a win through 4 games heading into this one. 10 minutes in, Jose de Souza hammers the shot. Waterloo's Imad Hakura comes up with a huge 2 stops actually to keep it scoreless. On to the second half of play we move. Waterloo with some nice passing here. Drazen Vukovic feeding it to Vladimir Zelambaba, who does this. Somebody dig the man a hole. I think he wants to crawl in after that one. Soon after, Waterloo looking disorganized on the back end. Hakura once again there to bail out his boys though with the nice stop. Finally though, Waterloo breaks through in the 50th minute. Drazen Vukovic, 15 goals last year, and picking up where he left off. But that's his 4th of the year already. The defending champs go up 1-0 over the Astros, but North York refuses to lay down. 11 minutes later, Hakura gets caught out of position here. Antoine Paul makes him pay. The Astros are looking better with each passing game. The young squad manages to hold the powerful Waterloo team to a 1-1 draw. So the defending champs, notorious slow starters, living up to their reputation as they're winless through their first 5 games now. Okay, let's check out some other game scores. June 21st, Niagara and Burlington play to a 1-1 draw from Kaler Stadium in Niagara Falls. The next day, York Region and Brampton City playing to a 0-0 draw at St. Joan of Arc Stadium. Good result there for the young Brampton squad against first place York Region. Okay, league standings, York Region leading the way, still undefeated. They've got 10 points. Kingston and Niagara tied with 8. Then a 4-way logjam with 7 points. Croatia, Serbia, Burlington, Brampton. SC Waterloo with 3, tied with London City. And the North York Astros right now on the bottom with 2 points, and they have yet to win a game so far this year. Upcoming games, June 28th, Serbia taking on SC Waterloo from Lamport Stadium. That is at 7 p.m. And then the next day, Kingston FC taking on Burlington from Queens Westfield. That game taking place at 1. Then Brampton City hosting the North York Astros from Vic Park Stadium at 5:30. Finally, York Region hosting London City, St. Joan of Arc at 6:30.
Hi, my name is Shawn Brown. I play right back on SC Waterloo. What I bring to this team is a lot of speed, a lot of pace, and very strong on tackles. Last year winning the championship was amazing. Just to do it with these guys, we fought hard for 2 years and we did it. When I think about my teammates, I think about they're all jokers. They're always slacking off a little bit sometimes and cracking jokes in the change rooms, and just being good guys being around. Those guys are like family to me. Like, we all have a good bond together. This year, definitely we're going to win the championship again. We have all the same players back again, and we're going to repeat again. We're not going to lose like Miami.
We've got to take a quick break, but stick around. The CSL this week. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Well, the North York Astros came within a whisker of reaching the CSL playoffs last season for the first time since 2008. A big reason for that success was the play of Jose de Souza. The midfielder brings a wealth of talent and experience to the young squad, and he's our focus this week in our CSL Player Profile, brought to you by Olympic Trophies, official sponsor of the Canadian Soccer League.
Ladies and gentlemen, the North York Astros second goal, scored by number 11, Jose Gonzalez de Souza.
Skillful, dynamic, intense. Just a few words to describe the North York Astros standout midfielder, Jose de Souza. Just 22 years old, he's now in his second year with the club. Previously, he'd played with the Mississauga Eagles in the CSL, but when the club ceased operations after 2012, he made his way to the Astros and has no regrets about making the move.
I had a tryout, I had a little practice, and I signed right away, right after that. It's been good, like met a lot of good people, you know. That's the number one thing, made a lot of friendships, a lot of new friends. And I just look forward to helping the Astros try to make the playoffs this year.
The left-footed de Souza has a multifaceted game. He can put the ball in the net with 5 goals last season, and he's among the league leaders thus far in 2014. However, he sees himself more as a creative player who loves to set up his teammates, a quality that puts a smile on the face of fellow midfielder Joey Mello for good reason.
Yeah, of course, you know, if he likes to feed off of other players and set them up, I'm trying to get set up as many of those as possible. So he's a great teammate to have. Jose brings a lot of pace. He's got good feet. He's got good moves. He's a left-footed player, which is always great. You know, those are rare players. And he brings goals. He creates goals.
Jose is, again, similar to Joey. He's a creative player. With Joey, they're like twins. They know each other, where to move, where to play the ball, and really good to watch them how to play together. Very special player as well.
Astros head coach Joseph Comlotti previously coached de Souza with the Mississauga Eagles in 2012 and sings his praises as not only a skillful player, but an ideal teammate as well.
Oh, like, people love him. He can have fun. He can be serious. He can be demanding, and actually, they love each other. Like, they are kids grew up together.
I think they like me. I'm a very nice guy, and I'm just a teammate. I don't get at anyone or anything. I'm just try to encourage people.
He's definitely a great teammate. I've played with him for a few years. He's a joker on the field, but he also knows how to switch on when the time is right.
Souza is happy for the opportunity to better his game against quality opposition in the CSL and hopes to one day take his game to the next level, whether in North America or abroad.
Yes, 2 years ago he came with me to Europe. Actually, several clubs interested in him, but for some reason we just couldn't pull it together. Jose can play on international level, but he did very well. Teams they put interest on him.
Right, I would definitely love to be a professional soccer player. Like, I think that's what everyone works for at the end of the day, right? If something comes my way, I will definitely take it, and I work hard for it every day. And I hope that it does come my way, because when it comes, I'll be ready for it.
We've got to take a quick break, but stick around. The CSL this week. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Well, it goes without saying that 2013 was a dream season for SC Waterloo. In just their third year in the Canadian Soccer League, the team captured the playoff championship, downing a powerful Kingston squad in the process. A huge part of their title run was the dynamic play of midfielder Addis Assessing. The young Bosnian was one of the league's top scorers, and he's got his sights firmly set on a repeat of last year's performance. Addis Assessing comes into the 2014 CSL season on a high. His 17 goals last year led his team and was among the tops in the league. And of course, he helped lead SC Waterloo to the playoff title.
Like SC Waterloo is the young team, you know. He started with working about 2010, the SC Waterloo, you know. In 2013, we are the champions. You know what I mean? It's really, they did a really good job. Like everyone's, like manager, coach, everyone's, you know, whole team.
Assessing was already match fit for the league kickoff back in May. For him, there is no off-season, as in November, he goes back to his home country of Bosnia to play professionally there.
Yeah, like during the season here in Canada, I'm here, like 6 months, like from May until 1st November. And last year when the league finished, like 3rd November, it was with the final, yeah, right? And after final, I went to the Bosnia, and one club from Bosnia First League, NK Travnik. They was like calling me to play for them, and I accept. Why not? Because like I got a lot of, you know, free space between the next season with Canada.
The 27-year-old midfielder's goal-scoring exploits with Waterloo can't be understated. He's a natural at putting the ball in the net.
He's really technically sound. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit. Like, he's really technically sound, and when it comes to certain areas, he can finish from anywhere. Left foot, right foot. He'll score a goal from 40 yards out and make it look like it was nothing. Like, his ability to score and his neck for scoring is just amazing. Like, I wish I had that, you know? Like, certain people have it, you know, and he's gifted and he has that, you know, special tool to score like that.
He's very confident, you know, like, as you know, last season he was our, I think, first scorer. He's always on the good position, you know. He have that ability. He have a good speed, you know. He's always there, you know. He's running. Even he can go with the ball. He can beat 2-3 players easy, you know.
Oh, it's so funny because his English is just getting better now. You want to hear him telling me to come on and push harder, you know. It sounds funny. I was making fun of him, but yeah, on the field he's a good guy. He's a good leader, you know, and he's just developing and just growing each day.
Shawn Brown had the chance to get to know Assessing better this winter overseas.
We played on the same team in Europe. We were playing in Bosnia, actually, and he kind of showed me around his town, and I got to know him on a different level, and he's a really level-headed guy, and he's cool, and I think he's really underrated. He's really amazing, and especially at a higher level when we were in Europe, to see him play, it was just amazing.
Assessing has felt right at home here in Canada, with so many Eastern Europeans on the team, including one of his best friends, Bosnian Ranko Goljanin, taking him under his wing.
First time when I heard he's gonna come, you know, like here in this club, like last year, I get happy because I met him like 2 years ago, and we are so good friends, you know.
He's a very nice guy, actually. Like we like to, like, he's a good singer too. Like, one thing about him, and probably that's he's more happy, you know. We like to sing some our songs, you know, like, and to make fun, you know, to make to be happy.
How have you liked Canada?
I like so much, really, really, really. I really like it. Like everything is like same, like my country, the weather and everything. You know, we are all together. You know, like wherever we move together like a family. You know.
We've got to take a quick break, but stick around. The CSL this week. We'll be back in just a moment. Hey, welcome back. Well, Brampton City United has been tough to figure out over the past couple of seasons. With a torrid offensive attack and numerous CSL standouts, the squad looked poised to make a significant postseason run. It never panned out, though. In 2012, Brampton missed out on a playoff berth in their very last game, and in 2013, they were shut down in the quarterfinals. This year, though, the team has taken a different approach, and they feel that their new players and new attitude will finally take them to the promised land. Brampton City United, this week's CSL team report brought to you by Days Inn, official hotel of the Canadian Soccer League. Brampton City United were a powerful force during the 2013 regular season. Deep with numerous seasoned CSL standouts, United notched 43 goals in 22 games, got outstanding goaltending from Camilo Benzi, and garnered a 4 seed in the playoffs. The good news ended there, however, as 5th-seeded Waterloo waltzed into Brampton in the quarterfinals and spanked the home squad 4-0, ending a season which had high expectations.
We had some injury difficulties that hurt us. We did have some players, 2 or 3 key players on school duty that hurt us, some suspensions that hurt us, and then the chemistry of the team, because of that and because of some of the little things that you try to control all year long, started to affect our overall performance, and that hurt us. Like I said, when you combine 2, 3 things like that, and in this league, you don't have the latitude to have many problems, because it manifests itself on the field and the other teams are just too strong and they make you pay.
This season, change is afoot. Team owner Mike DiMatteo estimates Brampton has had an 80% roster turnover from last year. Gone are such stars as Milo Sampanovic and Mirko Medic. They've gotten younger, but it's a new path DiMatteo believes in.
This is really the 3rd year of a project. Last year was the 2nd to 3rd year of that vision. But with what happened at the end of last year, and with the 2 years we have of our academy groups under our belt, this year really was the year where we decided we didn't want a repeat of last year. We will not allow the same things to happen that manifested itself. And one thing we have always professed and been true to, we're about youth.
Coach Juan Barreto's squad have started well with 2 wins, a loss, and a tie in their first 4 games. Now add to that the fact that the tie came against the first-place York Region Shooters, and it's easy to understand the excitement in Brampton at the team's chances.
Well, the team's been playing well. We've been working hard. We've been getting a lot of movements. We've been figuring out who works with who. We've been trying to figure out what's good with this player, what's good with that player. To be honest, the whole team's actually our strength. So basically moving from the back, from our goalkeeper, getting the ball right to the defense, moving it up from the defense to the midfield to the forward, everybody actually.
An early standout for Brampton has been forward Leiford Allen. Just 19, he's a graduate of United's 2nd Division team and has 4 goals in his first 4 games.
Leiford has so many tools. He's so aggressive, so talented a player. He can play anywhere, with his back to the net, into space, one-on-one. He has so many tools, and he's a very exciting player. He's matured tremendously from the end of last year to early this year. He's doing the little things, and a lot of that is being around the first team and being around, the players like Ray and some of the other players that have mentored him. It's really coming through, and you can see it in his game.
Quante Smith is a holdover from last year and gives the team experience on the back end.
Well, Quante's been a great player actually. He's actually a really good playmaker. When he gets the ball, he's able to push it off. He's been able to find the strikers or the wingers and make those excellent long balls. And when it comes to winning those 50-50 balls in the air, he's ridiculous.
Quante's been with our program for a few years. He was a key member of our reserve team. He really started to crack the first team lineup last year. This year, he's just excelled. His maturity, the way he's reading the game, the way he's moving on the field, we're extremely excited. He's always had that, but again, the consistency and the focus that these players need to get to the next level. He's really showing those aspects of the game.
Smith partners with defender Raisandri Fernandez, a former player on the Cuban national team who defected to Canada.
Ray, man, although Ray doesn't speak fluent English, you can just using those universal words, the words of any soccer player, you can he really connects with you. Ray is a hell of a monster when it comes to playing in defense. When it comes to going for that last man, making him the last guy to go after that ball, he really goes in and wins that ball, actually.
Well, Ray last year, there was a bit of a learning curve. I mean, Ray last year had a lot thrown at him. It was a very emotional time. He got his refugee status. It's a new country, it's a new culture, it's a new way of life, and the soccer is different. The CSL soccer, it took him last season to kind of really understand the league and climatize to it. And he took, let's say, a secondary role against some of the team leaders we had that were in charge and been here for a few years. But with the change in regime, now that those players are gone and we've introduced a fresher group, he's now really taken on a leadership role. He understands the league. He's working with our youth players more and more, and he's just been an incredible influence.
Overall, it's a relatively young squad, but one with tremendous potential, which leaves Di Matteo excited about its chances going forward.
I have to say I'm probably the most comfortable with this group of players than I ever have been in the last 5 years. They're a tight bunch, they're a hungry bunch, they work for each other. Their youth and inexperience hurt us in certain aspects with some of the more mature teams, but you know, their speed, their aggressiveness, their hunger, they're willing to learn and they're willing to push through to the next level, though more than compensates for that. So we're very excited about the group, and we love the football they're playing.
Every year is actually a year that we assume that we're going to go into the playoffs. This year, I do especially feel that we can, and we have the capability to be able to actually go into the playoffs and make it farther than we did last year.
Okay, guys, let's go. Come on, go.
Now, before we go, let's check out the play of the week brought to you by Olympic Trophies, and really it had to be this one. Croatia, Kingston, tie game in the second half. Catalan Lishu dials long distance, and just look at the reaction of the Toronto keeper. He's like, what happened? Take another look. Catalan curls it just inside the post. Absolutely gorgeous shot. That's his 4th of the year already in only 5 games, and definitely worthy of our play of the week by Olympic Trophies. And that's it for this week. Just remember, though, to check out CanadianSoccerLeague.ca for all the latest standings, news, and stats. And you can also follow on Twitter at CSL_soccer. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next week.